Welcome back. Mystic Maya stumbled briefly after being hit over the head with the staff.
Iris, where were you standing when you witnessed all of this?
What do you mean?
Well, if either of them had noticed you, they might not have continued their battle.
I wonder if that's true. Two of them, they were standing near the garden stone lantern. I was watching the whole thing from behind. It was dark where the two of them were, so...
Huh? What? Watching it from behind?
Ooh.
Oh, how'd you do that?
Hot.
How'd you watch them from behind?
I think that's why they didn't see me.
The door to that place is... There. You watch them from behind? What do you mean from behind?
Well, if they were still, like, standing right here, you could still be behind them, like, right here. It's just that one of them might have been facing you, or I believe there's an entrance from the garden into the inner temple as well, so you could have been watching it from there as well.
Yeah, but if... there was a pillar in the way to see the actions that happened.
I can't draw a diagram, okay? I'm telling you that's not the contradiction, because she could watch them from behind.
It was dark in the garden when the murder took place. Tell me, what did Miss Maya Fey do after she was struck?
But then she dodged Mystic Elise's next attack and stole her weapon.
What happened to the victim's staff then?
I'm not sure. Area was very dark, so I really couldn't see. I think it got knocked away somewhere as the fight escalated.
That makes sense. That would explain the need for the dagger.
Mystic Elise raised the dagger to strike, but Mystic Maya dodged it in the last second. The dagger struck the lantern and fell to the ground, and then at some point Mystic Maya picked it up.
That sounds especially strange yet.
What did the victim do when the weapon was stolen from her?
Suddenly, Mystic Elise was the one on the defensive with her back to the stun lantern.
You're saying that Maya Fey turned the tables on the victim?
Yes. Mystic Maya wasn't herself at the time. After all, her life was in danger.
I still can't believe it. The idea of Maya cornering someone at knife point is just silly.
As they say, a cornered fox is more dangerous than a jackal.
I believe the correct description of a cornered fox is scared and petrified.
Your animal analogies have grown tiresome.
You're the one who started it.
Anyway, so after Maya Fey backed the victim under the stone lantern, what happened next?
That's when Mystic Maya stabbed Mystic Elise.
Yeah.
Boom.
Are you absolutely certain that's what you saw?
Yes, I'm almost certain.
Almost.
The garden was dark. I couldn't really tell who was who.
What did she just say? So in other words, it could have been someone else entirely.
We know that Maya Fey was at the inner temple that night, and that the woman that was killed was Elise Dunham. Isn't it fairly obvious who attacked who?
Yeah. I don't have anything to counter that yet.
Well then, witness, please continue with your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor. The two of them faced each other for a moment. Then Mystic Maya rushed straight into Mystic Elise. But Mystic Elise stumbled over and fell to the ground.
So she was stabbed in the stomach, huh?
Yes.
Was she stabbed in the back? Show me that autopsy. Stabbed in the back.
Mystic Elise had managed to flee the knife away, but then she collapsed.
Where did that dagger go?
I have no idea. It was dark and I couldn't see. According to the detective who found the dagger, it was stuck into the pine tree in the garden. Most likely it was flung towards the tree after the struggle.
That is the most likely explanation, yes.
Being stabbed in the stomach, did the victim collapse right away?
How did I think of it? She seemed to stare at Mystic Maya for a while. Mystic Maya stood there, not moving an inch. It felt for a moment like time had just stopped. But then, suddenly, as if the spell had worn off, Mystic Elise fell over.
seems like a reasonable story at first. But there's one thing that is completely impossible. The very idea of Maya stabbing someone. That alone is impossible, which means this faulty testimony must contain another contradiction in it some way.
But back to the lantern, yeah. It might be this one, actually. It might be both, actually. I don't know.
Something about you just
it wasn't.
isn't right today, Iris.
Huh?
Until now, I didn't think you were the type to make such a careless mistake. However, the testimony you just gave contains quite a few contradictions.
What do you mean? What's so fun about my testimony?
According to you, Maya Fey stabbed the victim while she had her back to the stone.
I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. I swear. Yes, that's right.
But in that case, the victim would have been stabbed in the stomach, right?
Yes, I think so.
But according to the autopsy report, the cause of death was due to blood loss from a stab wound in her back. This proves that the victim was stabbed from behind, not from the front. Sister Iris, it appears another seed of doubt has sprouted from your testimony.
What is the meaning of this, Mr. Wright?
Huh. It's simple. People are like books. They've all got a front and a back. You get my drift?
I always like that.
Is that all you have to say?
I can also say that darkness loves to play with the human mind.
Can you please knock it off with these cheesy proverbs and illogical metaphors already? What are you? Somebody who writes the Bible?
James?
Earl Jones?
James Earl Jones felt the Bible. True.
It's James Earl Jones' Bible?
Yeah.
As Jesus was dying, God came down and said, Jesus, I am your father. Even though that's not the line, it's just, I am your father. He never said Luke.
Abraham. Everything that the light touches is our kingdom. As long as you kill your son.
No, it was more like... It's like more like Moses when he gets to the promised land. Everything that the light touches is their kingdom.
Yes.
What about me?
Not
yours.
Yeah. Moses, go ahead and cross that. You need to get the Jews out of there. They hate them. I'll split the... Trust me, I'll split the Red Sea.
I'll deal with it.
I'll deal with that, okay? So needy. Come on, Moses.
Come on, I can't even conjure up parting of seas.
Come on.
The point is, too much of this testimony just doesn't make sense. Throwing away a useful staff, the people fighting being mother and daughter, and now she falsely claims the victim was stabbed in the stomach.
There certainly are some inconsistencies.
Well, Iris, how about it?
Well, it's just...
Well, I mean, the way that Dora's playing is the fact that she couldn't really see which way she was stabbed.
Yeah. If you ask me, you're just being too naive about the whole thing.
What do you mean? That's why I said it was too dark.
There were 253 distinct types of bitterness in coffee. But to pick out each one requires total concentration and the use of all the senses. Were you really concentrating on what this witness actually said?
Prosecutor Goto, explain yourself!
The witness was quite unambiguous about her own ambiguities when she said that the garden was dark and she couldn't see clearly. A human needs one thing to see clearly, and that is light.
Light?
Like coffee. I'm selling it now, in stores now.
I don't want it.
By the way, did you know Azukur has a rule that on nights when the acolyte is at the inner temple training, the stone lantern in the garden must be kept lit.
I did wonder what that stone lantern was there for.
Well, if that's true, shouldn't the witness have been able to see the crime more clearly?
Normally, yes, Your Honor. But according to the head nun, Sister Bikini, on the night of the crime, it was impossible to light that stone lantern.
Possible.
It hadn't been used in a long time, and the wick was no good. In other words, it had been nearly pitch black in that garden. Pitch dark in that garden that night. True, I guess. It could have been a faint light coming from the training hall. That's all.
Most enlightening.
Yes, that illuminated fact has chased all the contradictions away. If the staff was dropped, it would be difficult to see. It also explains why they didn't recognize each other. We can't see the demons that lurk in the night. That's why humans are weak. Isn't that right, Trite?
No!
Ah, my water!
Okay. Why'd you grab my ass?
Juicy.
It's not your water.
Order, order, order!
Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone evidence. Fuck! 3, 2, 1. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Here, Your Honor. Let me present the stone. We were in the middle of a take! Let me present the stone. Fuck! Who the fuck is moving behind his head? You're distracting me.
Take it easy, bail.
Let me present the stone lantern and the evidence. Maybe it'll rekindle the flame of truth in your mind. Stone lantern! That lantern from the inner temple garden was not lit the night of the crime!
So how'd you know how to spell like that without seeing? That doesn't matter. Why is the judge just sitting there with that look on his face?
What's wrong, Your Honor? Was that flame too hot?
This lantern. There's something written on it.
Hmm?
Why? It's written in blood.
Oh boy. The judge didn't know about that yet.
Written? In blood?
It says Maya upside down.
What the?
Oh yes, that's right. After being cornered and then stabbed by Mystic Maya, Mystic Elise didn't fall down right away. She must have been writing that on the stone lantern behind her, with the blood that was draining out of her body.
It certainly looks that way.
Hang on. Hang on just a minute. What are you all talking about?
What do you mean? What are we talking about?
We're talking about the message written in blood. It's red. His eyes are red.
Nonsense.
You can't see it.
This lantern is as clean as a whistle.
Could it be? You can't see the bloody writing at all.
The bloody writing?
Now that I think of it, he did say something to me yesterday.
My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles on my head, I still can't see everything.
That's what he meant by that.
In any case, this is obviously an important clue. We now know that the crime scene was dark, and that the victim scrawled this message on the stone lantern. We stole it from the garden, yeah. So I guess so.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Godo, anything further?
He's just very angry. He can't see it.
Mr. Godo?
Okay then. Let's move on.
Godo is literally shaken. Somehow I don't think it's from caffeine overdose.
I believe it has now been established that Miss Donham was killed by Maya Fey.
That's just wrong.
Now it's time to turn our attention to you.
Yes, sir.
After the victim died, you did something, didn't you? Let's hear it. We're all ears.
Just you. Just your ears.
The Sister Iris cover up!
After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya. I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition, so I removed the body from the inner temple by myself. I dragged it behind me all the way across Dusky Bridge, and then I used a snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and... I used to shoot...
I fucked it up for the first time in my life.
I used the Shitachito to alter the way the wound looked.
I just kept stabbing over.
I know.
So you moved the body.
Yes, I was raised at Hazakura Temple. I owe a great deal of thanks to the Fae clan. But even so, I never imagined that Elise Dolan was actually Misty Fae. I've committed a terrible sin.
A terrible trick of fate.
What? I believe you're looking for Twist of Fate, Your Honor. Jeff Hardy! Baka!
I intended to return to the inner temple after taking care of the body, but...
You were spotted by the head nun, correct?
Yes, that's why I couldn't go back.
I charged her with the knife.
Yes.
Your story makes sense, I suppose. Mr. Wright, go ahead with your cross-examination.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just the iris cover up.
What am I, Fat Albert?
After Mystic Elise died, I called out to Mystic Maya.
I went cock-a-doodle-doo! That's how she responded. So you waited until everything was over before making a move.
No, it's not like that.
The fuck trite, she saw someone murdered right in front of her eyes. It's not surprising that she was a little timid.
Yes, I suppose it's true. Sometimes when I'm watching lawyers argue back and forth with each other, I feel so helpless that I just sit quietly and wait for them to reach a conclusion.
Your job as a judge to mediate the argument?
It wasn't until Mystic Maya saw me that I finally dawned on her what she had done.
I thought it was my duty to protect the future master of the Korean tradition.
So then, you knew. You knew the significance of the name Maya Fey.
Yes, of course I did.
That's odd. I mean, Sister Bikini didn't recognize Maya's name, let alone her position.
Anyway, she was a very special person indeed.
So I moved the body from the inner temple by myself. With these muscles.
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't want Mystic Maya to be suspected in any way. I thought the best thing would be to remove the body from the crime scene.
You moved her body all by yourself.
Yes, I did. It would have been impossible for it if it wasn't for the snow.
Snow.
I dragged it behind me all the way across Ducky Bridge.
I love that bridge!
Yeah.
That's where all the ducks go to fly over. What are you doing over there? Oh, we're taking a road trip to Ducky Bridge!
Yeah, you can grab them out of the air.
Just, look, here come the ducks. Wait! I got one, run!
Yeah.
Oh, pretty fitting for Japanifornia, actually.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing how you could make it all the way across that rickety old bridge.
It looks worse than it is. It's surprisingly sturdy for it, despite its age.
It's like they say, idiots are too stupid to catch even a simple cold.
But there's one other thing that bothers me. Why not just throw the body into the Eagle River? Would have same line of questioning that Mia had.
Yeah.
Would have been much easier than dragging it all the way to Hazakura Temple.
I thought that it would still cast too much suspicion on Mystic Maya. That's why I tried to take the body as far away as possible.
Huh. Makes perfect sense to me. For the time being. Anyway, what did you do after you crossed the bridge? And I used the snowmobile to carry it back to Hazakura Temple and...
Snowmobile? I knew that would show up sooner or later.
Yes, I had the key. I used a snowmobile to travel from Hazakura Temple to Dusky Bridge.
Is the part that was in question. Did I ask for more details? Tell me about the snowmobile.
Snowmobile.
Let me hear more about this snowmobile guy.
Well, it was very cold that night, so I rode it all the way to the foot of the bridge.
I'm sorry, witness, but now I've got a problem with your testimony.
Excuse me?
Yoda, what are you up to now?
That night, after the head nun left the remainder of the training to you, she said she walked from the inner temple back to Hazakura Temple.
Yes, I'm fairly certain that's what the record indicates.
Let's recall her comments on the subject.
Maybe, but when I made it back to Hazakura Temple, it was there, by the main gate, the snowmobile.
The snowmobile was in front of the main gate. This is one of those contradictions, wouldn't you say? Buy my new game. Go to Ace Attorney.
Apollo Justice?
No,
Apollo Creed?
Apollo Creed.
Order! Mr. Godo!
Oh.
Well, why are you pointing out contradictions in the witness's testimony?
Let's just say I like things to be neat and tidy, okay?
Well, maybe Sister Bikini missed it. Yes, maybe she didn't see it.
Apollo Bikini?
Hmm?
You think she missed it? That doesn't sound right.
Huh! Whatever. Even I don't think this is decisive enough to warrant any more time or effort. It's just, you better be careful in your testimony. That's all I wanted to say. A smart little cookie like you shouldn't have any trouble understanding that.
Yes, sir.
She's sweating. She's having a lot of trouble understanding that, apparently. What was that all about? Why would Godo want to give me a hint?
Very well then, let's continue with the testimony. So you transported the body by snowmobile all the way to Hazakura Temple courtyard.
Yes. I thought that way Mystic Maya wouldn't ever be suspected. That's what I thought anyway. And then
I used the Shitashito to alter the way the wound looked.
Is that what you were doing when Sister Bikini saw you?
Yes, that's right. She probably thought the worst.
Probably. More like definitely.
I see. So Sister Bikini mistakenly thought you were the one that murdered Miss Donan.
I'm so sorry. Please forgive me. It's my fault that this case has gotten so confusing.
Boo ba boo.
I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. Iris is trying to pin the murder on Maya. But why would she do that? There's only one reason I can think of. For pearls. Dragged about. Is there a new one or? Okay. Oh, I gotta question the other thing.
Yeah.
Well, I chose the wrong one!
No, I think you chose the right one. This one.
Snowmobile!
Ah, there we go. About the tracks.
Yeah, forget it. You really did move her body by snowmobile. And there should be tracks left in the snow, right?
Well, yes, naturally you would expect tracks.
This picture was presented at yesterday's trial. Are these the tracks from the ride?
Yes, I think they are.
But I can only see one set of tracks here.
I don't see what's so strange about that. Snow was still falling when I left Hazakura Temple.
I see, snow was still falling, huh?
And then when the murder took place, it had already stopped. That's why there were such fresh-looking tracks.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What do you think about this testimony?
It's important. When the murder took place, the snow had already stopped? That doesn't make sense if you stack it up against the other evidence. The photo of it has it covered in snow.
What photo?
Of the snowmobile?
We don't have a photo of the snowmobile. We have a photo of the tracks, and there's no snow on top of the snowmobile. Yeah. Now we got the weather data right here. That was snowing from 7 to 10:50, and then lightning from 10 to 11, and then the lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. So yeah, the snow, when the motor happened, the snow was stopped.
But the bridge would have been.
There we go, yeah.
Your Honor, I'd like the statement Iris just made added to the testimony.
But does it have something to do with this case?
All will be made clear if you allow her statement to be added to the record.
Huh. It should be fun. You, let's get the snow business cleared up, shall we? Yes, sir. By the time the murder took place, the snow had already stopped.
There have been a lot of contradictions in your testimony so far. This time, are you sure it's all true?
Yes, I am.
When the murder happened, the snow had already stopped? According to you, that's why the snowmobile tracks were so clear.
That's right. I'm certain of it.
I think I've trapped her this time.
I see how you think. Snow, huh?
What's going on here?
Snow really had stopped it by the time of the murder. It'd mean there's a bigger hole in her story than that movie, The Grid. Revelations!
Huh. Well then, Mr. Chite, perhaps you'd like to share your theory with us? Let's see what's up your sleeve. Or rather, at the end of your index finger. Meow.
I don't want to believe it, but I don't think my logic is failing me. I was just trying to pin the murder on mine.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Something's off about it. I should probably pick it apart.
Yeah. Dusky Bridge didn't exist!
You claim the snow had already stopped when the murder occurred. But I'm sorry, Iris. That just isn't possible.
What?
This is the weather data from the night of the murder. According to this, snow didn't stop until 10:50 p.m.
PM.
But you couldn't have crossed Dusky Bridge at that time.
Why do you say that?
Because 5 minutes before the snow stopped, Dusky Bridge was struck by lightning and had caught on fire.
What did you say? The bridge, it was on fire?
You don't mean to say you didn't know about it? It was because of that lightning strike that the bridge burned down.
What? It can't be!
It's because you were in your room all day, you didn't know what happened. Looks like you still haven't figured it out. No matter how hard you try to deceive or conceal the truth, you can't pull the wool over the eyes of a real defense attorney.
No!
Order!
The bridge was already on fire when the incident took place. That's right, the inner temple was already totally cut off from the other outside world. There's no way you could have crossed the bridge, body or no body.
Witness! Even my patience has its limits. Any further lying and I will find you in contempt of court. Do you have anything to say for yourself?
The only person here that is truly contemptible is you. Old man.
Me? How dare you?
Whether this witness lied or not doesn't mean squat right now.
Squat?
Important thing now is to find out the truth. Isn't that right?
Yes, of course, but...
Whether it was snowing or not snowing, or whether the bridge was burning or not, there were two facts that can't be disputed. First, the body of Elise Donham was discovered in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. And second, it had none, just a bikini. Witness Iris desecrating Elise Donham's body.
Makes a good point on both accounts.
That's right. I'm not lying.
What are you claiming this time?
I wasn't myself at all that night. My memory is still somewhat hazy.
You've stood at that witness stand and testified this entire time. Are you telling us now that your memory of that night is hazy?
It is only human to err. If you're so perfect, Trite, maybe you could explain this for the court.
What are you, a famous author? I don't think it's an author who says that. I think it's a philosopher. But still! What is it?
When the murder happened, the bridge had already burnt it down. But somehow the body traveled across the bridge and was found in the temple courtyard. Perhaps you had some kind of perfect explanation for this little magic trick?
Well, not exactly, no. Now there must be some other way to get across, that she got across that burnt out bridge. Unless I can somehow demonstrate it, I'll never know the truth.
It looks like the defense is not prepared to offer a suitable explanation.
You see what I mean? In other words, you're in no position to suggest that this lady's testimony isn't the truth.
Ah!
Alright then, witness, let's hear your testimony once more.
About what, Your Honor?
You've admitted that you moved the victim's body. Nevertheless, your prior testimony contained a rather large inconsistency. Please add an explanation for that to your testimony.
Yes, Your Honor.
This be your final testimony?
Will I?
And we're going to get to this testimony in.
Oh, the next
So it's like, oh, watch this episode of 8 to 10 Trials and Tribulations, like, subscribe, and all that, which is
every day.
bye-bye.